Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man X3. Today we're going to be tackling Tunnel Rhino, who's doing whatever the heck he's doing. And joining me today is the beautiful Fornea. How are ya?
Hello. I'm doing fairly well. Oh, this is... okay, again, these intros, they're so extra. The fact that they commissioned these scenes to just kind of be there is... it's sure something.
It really is. And they did that for X4, too.
Like, in X4, I don't super care because it's like, okay, that's a CD format in the first place. This was, SNES in the first place, so them just going like, no. This is what we need. This will sell Mega Man X3 on the PlayStation.
And only in Europe. This never released in America.
Ah yes, the world's easiest E-tank.
Yes. And make sure you're prepared for that blind drop. Absolutely. Oh, are we gonna fight a boss already? Nope. They're just... well, they're bit in Byte rooms. We'll get into that later on.
Yeah, don't they only show up after you've dropped 2 Mavericks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of dropping, have you noticed how stubborn a lot of these enemies are? How much damage they do?
Yeah, they've been kind of on the heavy-hitting side, and I will say, as someone who's played this game a couple times, not a lot, but a couple times, the general sponginess of enemies is something that I'm not too thrilled about because it makes me stop, and it's like, okay, charging forward and, whatnot, and eating damage for the sake of saving time, that's, a choice you make.
See, stuff like that is actually why I like playing X3, because it does it in a way that I can sort of blow through it if I'm like really skilled. It's not like X3 where I basically have no choice but to damage sponge through screenfuls of enemies that you basically can't dodge, you know what I mean?
And here comes Captain Slow Text.
Yes. And also Captain Jank, because unfortunately, Zero kind of stinks in this game. First of all, we've got that really huge delay between charge shots that aren't that strong. We've got a Saber that is strong, but is also really delayed, and won't let you climb walls, which can be a little bit of a hassle when you're also dealing with attacks that do like 8 damage. And it also forces you off ladders. I did not press the jump button there. He just went down on his own. Look at him.
Can I just say the making the controller thingy in the top left red did not escape my notice.
Yeah, one of the neatest tricks I've seen from the Lewis script. But yeah, if you do a normal full charge, he stays on just fine. But when he turns pink, oh no, he can't keep on then. And you know what's really frustrating? He gets 1 life. 1 life. And then he's just like, I can't do it. It's up to you, X. I
kind of like how Dr. Kane's just over in the back just going like, dude, you're supposed to be like the first Maverick Hunter. How the hell did you blow that so hard?
The one that beat... Actually, that'll leave that spoiler for X4, in case you don't already know. Now, there is an exploit.
Oh, I know where that's going. That's why I
though.
phrased it the way I did.
Right. Anyways, there is an exploit to getting around that, though, so that you can use Zero without any worries about locking yourself out of 100% completion, because you do need him alive in the fortress stages to get all the items. And I have a way of nullifying his death at 1120. But most aren't gonna know about that, so for the longest time, we just got this really janky thing where he can't pick up power-ups, he can't pick up health to refill sub-tanks, he attacks really slowly, he can't cling to walls or ladders very easily, so it's like, why do we even use him again? Except as a meat shield?
Yeah, and even then, since, if you're not taking advantage of exploits, then it's like, okay, if you have him shield too much, then, then you lose him because he's just gone at that point.
Yeah. Also a really incredible boss pattern here. Ramming. That you dash jump over, and sometimes drills that you also dash jump over, so what's even the difference?
Yeah, this is some, Mega Man X1, patterning right here. They learned how to deal with the fact that oh yeah, the wall jump and stuff is really, really powerful in X2, and mostly in X3, but I guess this guy they just had lying around as spare code from an earlier iteration of X1 that didn't make it in or something.
They gave him the fake out though, that he has a little something, just a little something. Throw you off there, not a lot, but something. Now, I promised a fan of mine called Two Sandraleps Now that I would make videos with X-Buster only and damageless for all the bosses to help with some unofficial retro achievements. So, most bosses will be shown twice, and yeah, Zero can't even enter any bitter Byte rooms, mini-boss rooms, or boss rooms. So if you switch into him at the wrong time, he just goes poof, and you can't use him again for the rest of the stage.
Excuse me, X, it's tea time. I am not being late for that.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm British.
Right. You are?
As my continuity of Zero, yes.
Oh, I see. Oh, you want to know something else weird? If you get through the stage without dying, Rhino will never ever do the drill thing. So in this footage, I did not do dying with Zero, so he just never does the drills. It's just a glitch in the game.
Yeah, I remember seeing someone who's familiar with speedrun tech doing that. It's just oh yeah, just don't suck and the boss is easy.
Speaking of suckiness, the Tornado Fang is one of those... It's mostly a treasure hunting weapon, but it does have a use in that if you hit an enemy just right, it disables their hitboxes, meaning you can just jump right through them. That's going to be put to use in, I think, Toxic Seahorse's stage, but anyway, let's get to that exploit, shall we?
Before we do, can I just say that the worst part about that weapon is the fact that the drill just sits there for a second, then decides to wake up?
Yes, absolutely, and then only does 2 damage per half a second. But yes, this box here, it is the only one responsible for whether Zero is alive or dead. So all you have to do is soft reset, not hard reset. Soft reset, so the game auto-generates a password. Just dinker with that box, and then suddenly he's alive again. Just like that.
Well then.
And then, since we cleared that stage, we can just press the exit button, and go right to Blizzard Buffalo.
Well, there we are.
Yeah.
Oh boy, more anime.
Yes. Let's see what diabolical deeds he's up to this time.
I never noticed that he actually has, cloven Mega Man boots.
Mm-hmm. Dang! We can't let Blizzard Buffalo go through with that unpunished, can we?
I mean, he's over there doing JoJo poses before JoJo hit anime, so yeah, no, we can't let that stand.
Nope. Oh, I see what you did there. But yeah, treasure hunting as a combat weapon, they do very minuscule damage. If we hadn't had the Tornado Fang, don't know why it's called that, but that's what it is, we'd have to get a giant robot suit from Blast Hornet, but he also requires a revisit, so this is why we went to Tunnel Rhino first, even though most guides recommend Bilzard Buffalo first. Just makes things faster.
Right. I think they call it that because it's pointed like a fang and it has like a conical spinning formation like a tornado, and it's just dumb. Oh, I see what you're going for here.
Yeah. Would have been important if we'd gone through here third or later, but just wanted to point that out for future reference.
Mm-hmm.
This also would be a good place to use Zero as a meat shield, except we're gonna be using him for another minor sort of exploit later, well, in about half a minute, so that's why. Keep a charge shot here, because everything dies in one charge shot, and this jump contains the dash boots, so get your elbow past that lamppost and try to make it, because if you don't, you are in respawn hell central. Look at this mess.
By the way, the whole thing about if you have a charge shot, you can just keep going, that's the kind of thing that I want out of an X game, and that's why the really tanky enemies are things I don't enjoy in this, because you basically can't do that with a number of enemies that the game is very, very fond of throwing at you in tight corridors, so that you can't actually, just one and done them with a full charge. And that's kind of like where my grievance takes form.
That makes sense. Also, you get a little bit of vertical height with each switch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but you just do, and it trivializes that jump. Also, look at the spacing between left and the comma.
Yeah.
I've actually tried fan translations, and sometimes to fit all that English text in there, you use 2-letter combinations in addition to 1-letters.
Right.
But you gotta make them all the same size, so you end up with tiles.
Yeah, fixed width fonts.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what happened there, although there's other odd things that...
Well, considering the spacing there, someone just pressed spacebar accidentally before the comma and didn't catch it. That's all it is.
Yeah, that could be true too. I'm a forgiving guy. But yeah, how would you ever see this stuff coming right here?
Meow.
Oh well. At least we got one of the best dash boots in the game. Upward air dashing. That's one of my favorite features of X3. So awesome.
I have to say, I never really found myself using it a whole lot by inclination. I usually just do the quick jumps for most maneuvering, like what you're doing right here. And I only ever really use like the up dash for very specific purposes, and I have a feeling we're going to be looking into one of those very shortly.
Well, not really. Mostly because you don't need it. But I know what you're referring to. First he rams, then he rams again, and again, and again. Basically, you just jump every time he turns around, and he just does this because his AI is completely unfinished. I'll show you how it's supposed to work in the refight, but for now, yeah.
You could have been showing off all kinds of upward dashes while you were doing that just to really flex.
I suppose. But then again, I think I'm doing that enough with the CF0. That's where you do charge shots, then pellets, because that's slightly faster than just charge shots all the time. It's a whole thing with the iframe weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what he's trying to do is dash away from you while you're in the air.
Right.
So he can do some icicle movements, like right... I think it's after this one. Yeah, here it is. 6 HP each, and it was sort of supposed to be an anti-cheese mechanism, except I guess they just didn't foresee you jumping on the other side of them? I don't know.
You know, for all the grandeur and pageantry that goes along with that attack, you'd think it would... You'd think that the wall ram would do more damage than just, what was that, like 4 bars?
I think so. Or 5. Whatever, still not enough. I would have thought that Kamehameha would have done more damage personally.
You had fun editing that in, I can tell.
That's from Legacy of Goku for GBA.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you didn't go with, oh, what was it called? I don't remember what it was called, but one of the SNES fighters that's earlier on, not Hyperdimension, but one of the other ones.
Hadoken?
What? No, the Dragon Ball games.
Oh, okay. I might have, except aren't those all in, like, Japanese or something for the SNES?
Yes, that's not going to change a Kamehameha voice clip.
Yeah, but then it'll sound like an old lady.
Your point being?
Dub fans wouldn't like it?
So, they're not people.
Well, anyways. So this confirms Dr. Doppler's motivations for his master who totally wasn't Sigma there. Absolutely no way. For some reason he wants X alive. I guess to make him join the Mavericks by infecting him. Kind of a weird plot point that never really gets brought up outside of this game.
Well, it kind of stands to reason if X is a Maverick, then they're not going to have to fight X.
Right, but so why don't they keep trying it?
I couldn't really tell you that one. Maybe it's just an idea that Doppler had and everyone else is just like, well, that didn't work. And clearly Doppler was the best candidate for that to work, so I'm not even going to think about trying that.
Well, looks like Mr. Mysterious Maverick isn't playing ball with that, so I guess he's gonna try to kill us. He's one of the optional bosses. And we'll get into all of that with the bit and byte rooms and optional bosses next time on Mega Man X3. This is Fiona Day Quester signing out. Have a lovely day, everyone, and God bless you all.
Bye.
Bye.